This is a good question here. Why is it so difficult to find men who are emotionally protective? Okay, we need you to clarify that.
Oh my goodness.
And then, why men associate expressing emotions with weakness? So the first one is, why is it so difficult to find men that are emotionally protective? Please define that, because that's one of these typical ambiguous female terms.
Who
said it? Who did
Emotionally protective.
Or,
I say that.
Done it.
Yeah, I wrote that.
Okay. What does emotionally protective mean?
It means that why the guys sometimes when we got the woman, we are emotionally, we cry and we do all that.
Yes.
And I think the guys
They're more guarded.
they
Don't
don't
do that?
know how to protect that part of us. A lot of guys, they don't know how to be emotional mature.
What do you mean?
And
Hold on a
live with
second.
that.
So you're crying and you're saying we
This
should.
is a silly example.
Wait,
about it.
you should protect. We should protect. Like try to make you stop crying.
Yeah, coddle.
No,
Is that what you're saying?
No, it's like it's just an example. For example, the men's, you're very rational, right? It's different like us. We are multitask. We get
Right.
our brains works a different way.
Delusional.
Yes. You can call them whatever you
Oh,
call.
sweet Jesus.
So,
Right.
Not delusional.
exactly. So,
All right, just say it in Spanish, man. Just say it in Spanish.
yeah.
Yeah, because you're gonna have a very tough time describing yourself.
Okay. Yeah, that's
it-
what I'm saying.
Yeah. So, what does emotionally
Well,
protective
listen,
mean?
babe.
Say it in Spanish, and then we'll have one of the people translate.
Ok, un hombre que se preocupa por las emociones de la mujer y no lo ve como una debilidad en el fondo.
Oh, I want tacos
Okay.
now.
Yeah.
All right, Mo.
Yeah, but
What was that, Mo?
Yeah, if a
So,
man,
es un hombre que es emocionalmente maduro y se va a preocupar
you
por
want a man to be
proteger
more
las
worried
emociones
about
de la mujer y en el fondo hacerla feliz.
Telemundo.
Go ahead, Mo.
¿Sí? ¿Se
She,
entiende?
she wants a man to be more like worried about her, but still wanting you to like do what you want,
Period.
doing what makes you happy.
You don't want them to like
I mean-
diminish your feelings
You
in
don't
the
want them to
moment,
take over
even if they are
everything,
irrational,
like,
is what
or-
you're saying,
Yeah,
right?
but
Like
like-
you
yeah,
want them to
like,
like
kinda like
bottle
pero
that
como
moment.
como celosa. Como,
¿Cómo? No, no.
como, no.
No, los celos no. Okay.
All right, not like jealous, but like
No,
worried,
no
but
like
worried
jealous.
still.
No, I'm not talking about that. I'm talking,
But worried.
Protective.
solo digo que el hombre debiese saber cómo proteger las emociones de la mujer y no simplemente
What a man to
dejarla
protect.
sola y en el
She wants a
fondo.
man to protect him and not
You want
make
him
her
to
feel
be
alone.
part woman,
She doesn't wanna feel
basically.
alone.
To not like diminish it
All
and
right,
shut
hold
it
on.
down.
Everybody, be
wants
quiet for 2
competition.
seconds.
She wants the man
Mo,
to
what the fuck did she just say,
She
man?
wants
Just
the man to
translate
be-
the fucking thing.
she
dude.
wants the man to be
fuck is it so
protect-
hard for?
She wants the man to be protective and not make her feel alone.
That's what it
Yeah,
is?
thank
Yes.
you.
The man to be protective and not make her feel alone. So when
Yes.
she cries, she doesn't want to cry by herself.
Yes.
Does she want the man to cry with her?
No,
no.
but show the emotion and the manly way.
Care.
Okay.
That you care.
But
Or make
I'll-
it feel
She
the
wants
woman
to be-
safe.
I'll take it
That's
to you
what I'm
guys. I'll
saying.
turn it to you now that we know what the hell she was actually
It's
asking.
complicated.
All I heard was taco, 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 taco.
What if he wants you to
Sounds
just
good, huh?
All right.
what if he wants you to just go cry by yourself because you're being irrational?
Oh.
Yeah, what if he
What do you
sends you
mean?
to your room?
Yeah, what if he sends you to your room like a little kid? He says you're being irrational, go to your room.
Yeah.
Because you're crying, but it makes no sense why you're crying. You just are. So he says
She
this
wants
is
a better
irrational.
color,
Go to
that's
your room.
Because I'm irrational. My hormones like are crazy. So
Right. So why?
I need to support in that
isn't
moment.
that fucked up to do to him that he has to put up with irrational, nonsensical behavior because you can't control yourself?
But we can discuss and we can get in. You know,
you
we
can
can
go to
make
your
a
fucking
deal.
room until you behave too, right?
Yeah, sure.
Here, what if I
absolutely.
said this? What if I said?
But it's so
I mean,
hard
that
to
seems
find a man
reasonable
that
to me.
understands that.
That's
Yeah,
not
yeah,
how
yeah.
you're a child.
It's very ambiguous
Go in
what
your
you're
room and
demanding
behave.
here. Just like the test you
Yeah,
did.
the
Like your
1%.
standards are unattainable. So a man might just say, "Go to your room," like Andrew said, or "You do that until you're ready to not do that." How
Right.
about that?
A logical way.
Yeah, do that until you're ready to not do that. Is that good enough for you?
No.
Like
It's
cry.
depending the
So
weight.
here's an example.
Depending the weight.
He's saying like, go ahead and cry until you're all done crying.
Right.
What is just like a
So
baby,
you're crying. So
you
you're
can
like.
cry
So let's
by
say
my side.
you wake up and you go.
Oh, I hold you and you can cry here.
Yeah, yeah. Well,
just like that.
Well,
So you want
okay,
more
well, let's say
empathetic?
he
And don't
wakes,
go to your
he wakes
room
up
and-
in the morning and he's like, oh, great, there's eggs and there's bacon. And you're like, you start crying because you saw some fucking commercial that made you sad because your hormones are insane that time of the month. And he's
Okay.
like, I'm trying to eat. Go fucking cry in the bedroom. You're ridiculous. You're ridiculous.
No.
What is he
Well,
doing?
that's
What is he doing
being
What
wrong?
you do is you rub her back and say, baby,
she
it's
can
okay.
Yeah.
Like, show you care. That's why I get
Not
cheated
for every
on.
instance.
Yeah.
No, no.
And you-
Hold on. If it's the case that women, you're admitted, are emotional, right?
I mean, all the women
Okay,
are,
so
not just me.
I'm saying, I know, I agree.
We
I'm
are
saying,
4 different women
I
every
understand.
week.
4 different cats, 4 different women in a week. Yeah.
Like
So-
a cat.
The question
different
is,
niggas, 4 different days
if
of the
you
week.
know that you're emotional and irrational, we're not like we don't know why you're crying most of the time if it's the case. So depending on what it's for, that's going to determine whether you're going to get any physical contact from us in return, right? You're not going to just expect that every time. You'll just be sniffling around for a hug all the time.
Like for an example, let's say that I woke up and had the opposite, right? And I was just enraged and I started breaking shit all over the house, just bashing holes in the wall. And I threw the fucking couch across the room. And I was screaming at the top of my lungs because I was irrational. Would you come over and be like, "Oh, sweetie, let me sit with you while you break every fucking thing"?
I'm like, babe, calm down. I'm like, babe, it's me. Calm down.
Yeah, that's an equal inverse. You know what I'm saying?
No.
Yeah.
So what would you do with that? Well, imagine us expecting you. You know,
Probably
just
That's not
What
equal.
would you want us to do with that? Call me.
We want you to disengage. That's the point.
They want you to, babe, chill.
Yeah. And
Daddy,
they pay you no mind when you crying,
It's
right?
almost like having
Right, but that's what makes us so different.
it's almost like having kids almost.
Yeah, a kid.
Yeah, exactly.
Like
If you feed
cry in a
into
corner,
them,
when you finish crying,
yeah.
come back over here.
Yep.
Bro,
You
they're
know,
annoying as fuck.
time
My
out.
Mookie, you heard where I came
That'd be annoying, man.
Okay.
All right, and then she said, "Why do men associate expressing emotions with weakness?"
because our emotions are sometimes irrational. So it would be a weakness if we appeal to our emotions as men in a lot of situations.
Yeah,
Most situations.
Logic.
You do realize that prisons are filled with emotional men, right?
Yeah.
Are they really?
They write the best love letters.
And some
Even ones that get out sometimes are a
and
little
some of them
emotional.
will hit you, by the way.
best self-portrait.
They got the best game. What you mean?
This is why I think a woman's vote should only be 50% of a man's, bro.
Yeah,
Yeah, shit
bro.
like this, man.
You know what's funny? You would say that.
50% is pretty high.
You think they shouldn't vote at all?
No, I don't think it's a good idea. Well, I think most men should not be able to vote.
Okay.
And basically all women shouldn't be able to vote. But what I think the way that you could do this, the way that you could set this up, is you could have a public service work which was unpaid. You got nothing in exchange for the public service work. And if you make it elongated enough, maybe 6 to 8 years, something like this, almost no women would ever do it.
Okay. So, question: do you think since men have to be in selective service, that's not enough?
I think it is enough. But,
Okay, so because you
but
said now all men should vote.
Yeah, so I think it is enough. Just that in and of itself, I have an entire argument about rights enforcement, how only men can do that. But while I do think it's enough, I don't think it's enough for you to pitch it to the country. You know what I mean? Whereas I think that if you were to pitch only people at stake in the game through actually going through some kind of service to the state, I think that's something that you could actually push and people would move towards.
Yeah. No, I agree that you need to have skin in the game and vote. And which is why I think most women shouldn't vote, because most women simply don't have skin in the game.
No.
They don't own property. They've never been in the military. They're not government employees or anything like that.
Well, they can't be drafted.
And they can't.
They can't be drafted. I mean, that's a huge thing that you bring up.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But whether or not it's pragmatic to use the they can't be drafted, therefore they can't vote, I don't think you'd ever be able to push that. But I think you could push something where
Oh, you mean like practically like out in the real world,
Yeah, out in
like
the real
actually
world.
like push
Yeah,
legislation? Yeah.
But I think
my
you
idea would
could-
never.
But you could practically push service as a guaranteeing a right to vote. People would gravitate a lot more towards that.
So would you say that you think since all men have to be in the selective service, they should all have the right to vote?
Yeah.
Okay, so all men have the right to vote.
Yeah, well, I would say that all the men who have served have the right to vote in that capacity.
So just being
Or-
in selective service alone isn't
not
enough.
no, that wouldn't be enough to push it pragmatically to the public.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So,
all right. I see your
you would have
perspective.
to have some kind of service that men or women go through, not just military. You could have civic service too.
Underwater welding.
Yeah, but whatever it is, it's unpaid and it's designed for you to give your labor to the state for no money at all in exchange. I think very few women would do that. Mostly men would, and the ones who did, fine. Who would have a problem with those women voting?
Yeah. Okay. So you're, because my thing is more theory, because I look at it like we'll never ever be able to fuck with the 19th. But you're saying if we were, this is how you push it across the finish line, which I see your perspective.
You could get the 19th repealed if you had politicians who were pushing specifically for service-based voting, because there are nations that do that, and it's definitely a better way to go.
You could also, through propaganda, basically get women to understand it's actually in their favor.
To not vote? They don't vote anyway, so.
Yeah.
A lot of them don't vote. When they do, they vote for Biden and shit.
I'll leave it because my granny baby.
You could do it through propaganda. That would take a lot of years. I mean, you're basically right. You're not going to be repealing the 19th anytime soon.
Yeah, but I like your idea. Your idea, like, this is how, if we were to hypothetically do it, this is how we'd get it across the finish line.
Yeah.
I kind of make my joke like, bro, they should get 50% of the vote because they're not a selective service. That's my main argument. But is that realistic? No. But you're saying, realistically, if we wanted to actually push this and limit women's voting rights, this is how we would do it, which I agree.
Do it, yep.
Yeah, bro, they wouldn't do that shit.
They wouldn't do shit.
Fuck that. They'd be like, hell no, I don't care about voting that much.
No, they would. There's no way they would give 6 to 8 years of service unpaid.
Yeah.
I mean, that's a fucking incredible amount. Most men wouldn't either, but it would give those men who did a much higher status.
Yeah. All right.